What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys have a fantastic day today, and today I have a very exciting Gemini 200 unboxing for you guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Gemini 200 1:200 scale American Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the AstroJet retro paint scheme. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video, and without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started. So I got this model from the C.R. Smith Museum. Highly recommend visiting if you're in the Dallas area at any time, because it is a super awesome American Airlines museum. All their history, all their mergers, all their aircraft, like anything you'd want to know about American Airlines, the C.R. Smith Museum is the place to go to learn about it. So I went there. Video will be coming soon on that, hopefully soon, but I have so much content coming in the future that who knows when that will be, but I'll do my best to get that out as soon as possible, along with all the other content. But museums have been a focal point of my trips as of late, and it's been really cool to get to experience all of them and see what they're all about. And the C.R. Smith Museum was definitely a very, very good offering for American Airlines. So while there, I did pick up a couple of memorabilia items, including this really cool Bob Dover American MD-82 illustration from 1991. Very awesome illustration. I think it was somewhere in the $30 range, but I was super happy with it. $32 that is, and I thought that it came out really well, and I'm super happy to have that. So I've really enjoyed looking at this, and I think that was a really good investment. But also over here, I got the AstroJet 737-800 here for American Airlines. They had a really good offering. The only note to make is that their pricing is not the best. I ended up paying $105 for this model, which is certainly above what you could find it for on retail stores online. But in the moment, you want to have something to remember the trip for. So that's why I decided to get this in the moment, and I thought that it was a really good offering. But they have a great selection of 1-400, 1-200 aircraft, and I think they also have some Herpas as well, and 1-500. They are just a little bit expensive, though. So outside that, they have a really cool gift shop with a bunch of really cool aviation memorabilia items for American Airlines. So highly recommend visiting. I think they also have a website as well if you're interested in ordering from there. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started with today's model. So really excited to add this to my current color 737-800 I've had. I've really wanted to get a chrome one. Obviously, chrome one's super hard to come across, so I decided to settle for the AstroJet, and hopefully one day I'll be able to get a chrome 737 and maybe start building the heritages slowly but surely with TWA, Reno Air, and AstroJet. TWA, Reno Air, AirCal, and now that we have AstroJet in the chrome. So yeah, I'm really excited for this, so let's go ahead and get started. Enough talk. Gemini 200 here in the corner, you got the American Airlines billboard titles. Here's the aircraft itself, Boeing 737-800, 1-200 scale die-cast model aircraft. Item number is G2AAL990. These Gemini 200 boxes are always really cool. I love the magnet that they have and everything. Again, this was $105 from the C.R. Smith Museum directly. Sorry guys, my apologies. This was a 2021 release. I want to say August or September. It was later in the year if I remember correctly. So again, really excited for this aircraft. This will be a really great opportunity, and I'm really excited for it. So what I'll do is get the mount over here, and I decided to do it handheld for that segment because the Gemini 200 boxes are so big. So let me see how this goes with it on the mount. So let's go ahead and get into this. So of course you have the styrofoam up here on the top where you have your stand. These stands are really not that great. These are the small ones, the tripod stands as they're referred to. So I don't really like them, but who knows, maybe sometime I can get a better set of stands. We'll take it out of the box from there, and then we have an AstroJet 737-800 for American Airlines inside. So let me go ahead and get this out for everybody. And here she is. The nose wheel keeps falling off, so no worries on that. Let me get that back in there. A cool note real quick is that it does have a prong piece, so that's nice, but it still falls out, so it's all good, though it happens. I've seen my fair share of broken models in the past. But here it is, the AstroJet American 737-800 with blended winglets. It also does come with a gear up configuration too, if you are interested in that. But we have the gear down for today's review, because the tripod stand, at least it's better on the narrow bodies, but there's like 757s and A321s and all those planes that comes with. So that's when it gets a little bit more challenging. But in terms of having it on the 737s, it's not quite as bad. So here it is, the Gemini 200 American 737-800 in the AstroJet livery. I think GeminiJets did a really good job on this aircraft. I'm really happy to have it in the fleet, and ultimately I think they do a really good job with their printing on 1-200 models. And even though sometimes the molds have some very slight defects, most of the time 1-200 they come out really nice. So only one like glaring issue that I can't unsee with this mold. I'm sure that many other people probably would join me on that, but nevertheless, let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is an absolutely stunning model, and they did a really great job on it, and I'm really excited to see what it's all about. So let's go ahead and get into the details, everybody. Alrighty, here we go. Starting right here with the cockpit windows and the anti-glare piece right here. I really like this on the AstroJet livery. I think it's a really nice touch to it since the majority of the livery is chrome, so really nice to see that. We do have the gray nose cone area right here and some very good detail where the all the sensors, and I think there's maybe some radars in there and all that fun stuff. So really cool to see that. Here begins the beginning of the AstroJet cheat line, so that's really cool to see. And we also have the AstroJet titles right here, which also look fantastic. On the bottom here, you have the nose landing gear door, slightly too big. I honestly just can't unsee it, but it's not a problem. I'm certainly not complaining. The rest of the model, especially like the wing area compared to the 1-400 mold, is really superior. So I'm really admiring that. It's really nice. But anyways, it says 738 in the fleet number of 3JP, and then you have the nose landing gear, which is also very nice. Starting right here with the L1 door, you have some really good detail, including the window, the lever, and the One World logo, which looks fantastic. And then the AstroJet line starts and then cheats back in before going back out again. Very nicely done. This aircraft also does have the gray underbelly, which is what all the American Airlines special liveries now have. So I kind of have mixed feelings about it, but certainly it's not a problem. I'm going to make this a little bit more centered. All right, so beginning here, you have your first class area, and then you have the American Airlines billboard titles that start. One of the few liveries that American Airlines ever had that went for the full fuselage on the billboard titles. And then of course you start your economy plus and main cabins, so that also looks really cool. Here's the wing root right here. They did a really good job assembling this. I think it looks really nice. You also have the beacon, which is one of my favorite elements of 1-200 aircraft, and also an antenna right here. And then one part of the 1-200 mold that they got really good compared to the 1-400 mold is the CFM56 engine is very nice and proportional and looks really good. It might be slightly big, but it's definitely not near as bad as the previous offering. What is really, really great about this mold that I really like is there's no darn wing flex, which is very much appreciated. So as you can see right here, I think some aircraft have it a little bit worse, but this one certainly is not bad at all. I can barely notice it, if there is even any. There might be just the slightest amount, but do keep in mind that 737-800 is supposed to have a little bit of flex in the wings. So I appreciate GeminiJets' effort here on the 1-200 rendition of that. You have your emergency exits here with some good detail on the top right half of the doors, which is really cool. And then you have some really good detail right here on the escape padding right there. That looks really nice. So really nicely done. They did a very good job on that. You can see here we have the slats, winglet, speed brakes, and flaps, which is really nice. So here's the slats. You have the main part of the wing. You have the winglet. You have the speed brakes and the flaps, all really nicely detailed, and they did a really good job. This aircraft's also offered in the flaps down configuration, which looked really good. So very nice to see that. Another really cool part of the 1-200 mold that's lacking on the 1-400 is that there is two antennas here on the bottom, realistic to the real life 737. The GeminiJets 1-400 mold only has one. So really cool to see that this 1-200 offering does have both of them, which is also a really nice piece of the mold. Of course, your main cabin starts back here. Well, kind of started up here, but goes into back here. Then you have your Wi-Fi box along with the stubby antenna, as I like to call it, which looks really good too. I honestly don't know what this part right here is. If anybody does know, please let me know, but I don't know what that part is. The orange cheat line is mainstream and fluid for the rest of the aircraft. Then we have the registration and the US flag registration, November 905, November. This special livery with winglets was originally for a very long time on November 951 Alpha. That aircraft had the livery all the way back when they did not have winglets on it, which is really crazy to think about. So it is really cool to see that it was able to transpire over to November 905, November. Now, I think 951 is not flying anymore, but it might be. I honestly have no idea. So maybe that's why they repainted it. It was from April to June of 2017, I think is when it might have been 2018, but it's 2017 or 2018 when they repainted it. But I caught both versions. I remember, I'm pretty sure it was 2018 when they repainted it, because I remember getting 951, if I'm not mistaken, at Tulsa International Airport during a 6-hour weather delay. We were trying to go from Tulsa to Chicago to Rochester, Minnesota. And I remember that we were trying to get out on our original flight, which was a CRJ 700 at like 11 o'clock. That flight ended up getting delayed, so they kicked us over to what they thought would be a prompt departure on a delayed 6 a.m. 737 flight. This is back when Tulsa to O'Hare was on a 737, and that flight ended up getting delayed till 3 o'clock. It was really late in the day, maybe 4 or 5 even, and we ended up getting on that flight and making the last flight out on American to Rochester, Minnesota that night. So really fun memories there. That was really fun. But nevertheless, I did get to see 951 there, and then I've got to see this aircraft 905 several times. Most recently was in, oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of when this was, the last time I saw this. Oh, it's been a while. I know I saw it at Dallas several times pre-pandemic, but I'm trying to think of the last time I saw it lately. Oh, it might have been at Miami, but I don't think it was. It might have been at Miami, but I can't remember. But I'm certainly on the hunt for a really good picture of it. I think that the pictures I have are pretty solid, but I would like a really nice fluid one. So nevertheless, though, I have seen it a couple times, which I'm very fortunate to be able to do that. I also saw it at Charlotte, I can recall that. But nevertheless, this is a really pretty plane. Anyways, sorry for enough story time there. Here's the AstroJet titles along with the American Airlines logo. American Airlines logo is always represented an eagle and an AA of sorts. It's just changed over the years. This is a more, 1960s look. I think this livery was introduced in, I thought it was 63. I could be very wrong on that. I know the chrome was 68, 1968 that is. I think this was only a 5-year livery, although I could be completely wrong on that. If it wasn't the 60s, I think it was sometime in the 50s, but I think this livery was 1963. Nevertheless, looking really good. We have the APU detail along with the horizontal stabilizers, which are actually really nice and sturdy compared to the 1-400 mold. So that's really nice. They did a good job on that. Also, another stubby antenna right here, which is really cool. And then you have the back piece right there, which is also fantastic. Right side of the aircraft also has some really good detail, including the baggage door, which is right here. That is great, which is pretty interesting. And then we have the back one as well, which also looks really good on this aircraft. The top of the aircraft has some very good detail, including the 3D beacon, the Wi-Fi box, 2 antennas, and ultimately some really good detail. And these wings on the 1-200s remind me of the NG 1-400s, which is kind of funny because these are really good. I'm really eager to see that NG Boeing 757-200 mold in 1-200 scale and how detailed that is. So certainly excited for that. But GeminiJets does a superior job on their 1-200 offerings on wing detail. The bottom of the aircraft, as I was previously referring to, is that grayish color, so that's what we have. We do have a GeminiJets logo, both those antennas right there in the back, the stubby one in the very back right there, the middle one right there, which is really nice, got some panel detail down there as well, 738 right there on the bottom of the nose, and you also have these styrofoam pieces that kind of fit the landing gear a little bit better in place. The previous mold had issues with that. I have a current livery 737 in the previous mold that the right main landing gear has never been able to go in properly. So that's that, but hey, it's all good. Also some good detail on the bottom of the wing as well. And then this leading edge piece, I think is supposed to have an indent right here. I believe the 1-400 NG mold represents that. I think that this mold does not, although I could be completely wrong. And maybe another aircraft, but I thought the 737-800 did do that. So anyways, though, looking very good outside of all that. So ultimately, as we can tell, the GeminiJets 1-200 737 mold is a really nice offering. I would say that honestly, the best part of it is definitely the wings after seeing that 1-400 version so many times. Although the nose landing gear door is slightly big and there's a few details that could use a little bit more enhancing, especially when the MSRP is $105. I don't know if that's what this was, MSRP, but it's got to be somewhere in that ballpark. Of course, you can get it for retail for a little bit less than that, but still pretty expensive overall. So, but it's a really good model. I would recommend the Inflate 200 mold if you're looking for the best quality, but those are obviously a little bit more expensive. They also did an AstroJet. That one I believe is very hard to find. Pretty much anything Inflate 200 that they've done already is pretty hard to find. So I recommend trying to snag one of their pre-orders up if you're interested, which we will be unboxing one of those very soon. So stay on the lookout for that. In fact, I don't know what the heck happened because I was going to put that in my next Retro Massive unboxing, which may or may not have come out at this point, 32. That had like several retro models in it, and for whatever reason, I didn't end up getting it in the video, which was unintentional. I just was trying to play catch up with how many models I have to unbox. My assumption on what happened there is that it's probably downstairs, halfway down the stairway, and the box was so big that I didn't even recognize that it was for the unboxing, because I have so many boxes around here. Some of them just have a bunch of miscellaneous items in them, like I have 2 boxes sitting right next to the door right there that are similar size to the box I'm referring to. Those 2 boxes just have miscellaneous college items in them, and then I have a whole, I'll just go ahead and show it. I have an absolute full-on army of boxes over here from the last massive unboxing, so I need to clean that up, obviously, if you can't tell. And then the room, trying to get this organized has not been a very big strong point. I've kept Great Plains out because that's the next airport update on store, and then right after I finish this, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the Tulsa International Airport updates so I can go get started on Great Plains. So trying to get this all organized has been tough, but Anyways, the case in point on that is that I have a in-flight model, first in-flight 200 aircraft on 1:200 scale that I'm very excited to unbox. So that'll be a really great opportunity. So again, really great aircraft here. I'm very excited to have this one. This will complement my American Airlines fleet well. Now that I have the 777-300, the two MD-80s, flagship Valor, one World 75, the CRJ-900, the 737-800, and now this one. So really, really glad to have this, and there'll be more American Airlines aircraft 1:200 coming to the fleet soon, so stay tuned. Really excited for that, and it's going to be a really great opportunity overall and just in general. So really excited for that. I hope you guys are as well, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this. Really would like to make a 1:200 airport sometime. That's definitely a long-term desire. If you guys know Foster 398 and his 1:200 model airports, that is definitely the end goal for a model airport 1:200 scale. Obviously a very expensive project, but you get what you pay for, and that is certainly absolutely incredible to see what he's done with his model airports and the amount of precision and detail and just the overall realism that you can see from that. You know, looking at 1:400 is really fun. That's absolutely outstanding. But once you transpire up to 1:200, with just the additional details like the 3D beacon right here, and then there's so many other really cool 1:200 elements with how much bigger the GSC is, how much more proportional it is, using people on the ground. You know, there's just so many ways. And then you can make your terminals beyond realistic, beyond my days. It's just really cool to see that. So very excited for that, and I hope you guys are as well. But nevertheless, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, test the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing